We begin with the story that is dominating world headlines. The efforts to free 12 young boys and their soccer coach who've been trapped in a flooded cave in Thailand for 16 days. That rescue has been underway and at least 4 of the boys have been saved. CBS News foreign correspondent Ben Tracy is near the site in Chiang Rai, Thailand. Ben, what can you tell us?
Well, Margaret, so far this is the news that we had all been hoping to hear. These 4 boys now out of the cave after 16 very long days. We now believe that all 4 of them were transported to the hospital in Chiang Rai via helicopter and then ambulance. And we did see the head of this rescue operation gave a news conference. He said this was much more successful than they thought it would be, that it went very smoothly. He said from the time the boys exited the mouth of the cave to when they got on the helicopter was just 2 minutes. And he says that was 5 times faster than when they tried this in their rehearsals. So they are feeling very confident tonight that the first stage of this operation, getting 4 boys out of this cave, has gone extraordinarily well. Margaret?
Why did this rescue operation happen now, and what's next?
Well, you know, they really felt a sense of urgency. They felt like they had a very small window of time to attempt this. And keep in mind, this is not the preferred mode of doing this. This is a very dangerous operation to bring these young boys, they're just ages 11 to 16, out of this cave this way, the way that trained Navy SEALs would do it. The reason they did it is they felt with heavy rain, and it is raining here now again, heavy rain could flood that cave again and cut these boys off from supplies and from any sort of successful rescue. That potentially could mean that they would be in that cave for months on a very small piece of real estate that would shrink as the cave flooded. So they felt like they had a little window of opportunity with the weather. They felt the boys were in the right condition to withstand this operation. And so far, they have been right. These 4 boys have come out. We have every reason to believe that all 4 of them are alive. We do not have any sense of their actual condition in terms of what kind of shape they're in. They will now be evaluated at the hospital for about 3 to 5 days.
President Trump tweeted this morning that the U.S. is working closely with the government of Thailand to get the children out. He said very brave and talented people are at work here. What do we know about those efforts?
Yeah, you know, for the last week, we've been sitting outside the entrance to this cave, and we have seen U.S. military personnel there on the site. They have been there in various capacities as advisors, but we're also told that there were American divers in the water as part of this rescue. This was an international effort. You had a team of 18 divers, 5 of which were from Thailand. The rest of them were international, so you had the U.S., you had Britain, you had Australia. This is really something that has captivated the world, and countries all over the world send personnel there. Just being there on that site and seeing how many people showed up to help in so many different capacities, it's really quite striking, and I'm sure that is a big part of why this has been successful so far.
You know, Ben, this is so risky, this rescue, but the alternatives are so tough for some of those parents there who've been waiting to hear about their loved ones. I know you've been speaking with some of them. What are they thinking right now as this is underway?
I can only imagine. I mean, we talked to the father of one boy, the youngest boy in the cave. He's just 11 years old. His name is Titan. And we talked to his dad, and he said this has just been horrible. It's been nerve-wracking every day to sit there waiting for news. First, it was that they couldn't find the boys in the cave. Then once they found them, that sense of elation that all these parents had. But then to find out that this rescue mission was going to be horribly dangerous. So this has really been a roller coaster for these families. And I can tell you, out at that cave site, there was basically a tent where all the family members, most of the mothers, were just sitting in chairs watching TV coverage of this, waiting for some news about their sons. They today, we are told, were standing at the mouth of the cave as this operation was happening, and they will now be reunited with their sons at the hospital.
How much anger is there at the situation itself? I know these boys were being supervised. They had a soccer coach with them. He's been heavily criticized for putting them in this position in the first place. Is he really to blame here?
Yeah, well, let me set the scene for you here. I mean, this was a soccer team. They had finished their practice, and from what we have been told by multiple people here in Thailand, there was some sort of birthday celebration that was going on. That's the reason they were going to this cave. They were celebrating somebody's birthday. So they went into this cave. The coach apparently was with them. There are big signs outside this cave warning of the danger this time of year during the rainy season, that this cave floods and that it can be unsafe. So certainly that is something that this coach will have to address with these parents and with the larger community at some point. However, the coach did issue an apology from inside the cave via a letter to these parents. The parents and the kids were sending letters back and forth the other day, and in several of the letters, the parents went out of their way to say, "We don't blame you, coach. Please take care of our kids in there. We know you love them. We know you're trying to protect them." And we have heard reports that this coach, when they went in there with very little food, imagine they probably had some snacks on them because they had been playing soccer, he apparently gave all of his food and water to these kids to keep them alive until rescuers came. And we are told that he is in one of the weakest conditions of anyone in that cave. So certainly he has done his best while he's been in there. He apparently also taught them how to meditate, to try to keep them calm, to conserve their energy, and to not panic while they've been inside. Margaret?
Ben, thank you for your reporting, and we will continue to follow the rescue efforts in Thailand here on CBS News and our streaming network, CBSN.